You're listening to Operation Self Reset, part number 3, the Code of Confidence. What is going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake Naraki, coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where each and every week we dive into a different topic in the world of personal development. Today is part number 3 of our multi-level series. We are kind of going back to the beginning, the fundamentals of what is a reset, what is Operation Self Reset. And if this is your first time diving in, feel free to kind of look back in the archives and find part 1 and 2 that were released 2 weeks ago, and then of course 1 week ago. Now today's show, there is no sponsor, but I want to say it is sponsored by you guys. I do the show because I really enjoy it, and for the first time in a long time, I'm recording this episode in my home. I record all of them in my home, and I record most of them in the evening hour because that's when the kids go to bed. But for the first time in a while, man, I got the house to myself, the family's gone, and I can really just proclaim the awesomeness that is going on in this room, proclaim just that I appreciate you guys, and it's kind of getting back to my roots. I started this show before I had kids. Now I have 3 children. Life is crazy, and so I just want to say thank you, and it's sponsored by you guys for being a part of the show, and I continue to do this. One thing I want to say to you before we get into the confidence and how the confidence code can really benefit you is that when you find to get confidence, if you were to boil it down and to say, Jake, what is that one line? To find confidence, to be confident, is to do something that you love. If you're doing something that you love, you're confident in your own skin, you're confident in your own space, you're confident in your own home, when your family's gone, whatever, you're confident when you find something that you love. And I don't care what it is. If it's making money, great. If it's whittling a whole tree into a toothpick, great. If it's cutting your lawn, awesome. If it's going out there and serving the world, kudos to you. But regardless, it doesn't matter what your vice is. All that matters is that you find the thing that you love. Once you do that, you're doing great. You're feeling really good. And I'm in that space right now, and hopefully it radiates, my voice radiates into your soul, into your mind, into your being, going, you know what? If this guy, this weird guy from Wisconsin can have this energy and aura around him, I can have that too. And I got to find out, what do I personally love and what can I do to fulfill myself? Because at the end of the day, all that matters is you, because you live with yourself. You talk to yourself, you think to yourself, you believe in yourself, sometimes you don't. But at the end of the day, you are here in your own vessel, aka the body. And what can you do to get that confidence out? So let's get into part 3 here, the code of confidence. Confidence is really, really key. It's one of those things in the personal development space and motivation. Confidence is something that people attract to. They want more of. They're figuring out, how can we be more of this? How can I get more energy? How can I find the joy and love? And what all these kind of roads go to is confidence. If you don't have the confidence in your objective, in confidence in your goals, confidence in your relationships, confidence in your work, confidence in your overall well-being, you are not going to reach your goals. You're not going to want to become better. You're not going to want to try or even complete a reset. A self-reset is nothing more than understanding that every opportunity, every moment, you have the ability to start over. And so this moment that we're going to start over in together is figuring out, how can we get more confident in who we are on a regular daily basis, and why is it that some people, some things have more confidence than us in certain situations. Now, I want to share with you an idea before we really dive into the nuts and bolts, is that, number one, you're not born with confidence. Actually, nobody is born with confidence. Let me say that over again. You, people, humans, things are not born with confidence. Confidence comes in time. Confidence comes in judgment. Confidence comes from seeing it from a different perspective. Now, confidence comes from the inside. In a minute, we're going to get into it drip by drip, moment by moment. Confidence comes by judgment, as in you see a very if you're a woman, a very beautiful woman walking down the street, or if you're a guy, you see a very strong, masculine man walking down the street, you think they have confidence. And what you're doing is actually pulling confidence out of your own soul, your well being, and putting into that other person. Because you see that they have the nice shoes, the beautiful hair, the nice glow to their skin. Or for the guy, you see the big veins in his body, you see the amount of work that he must have put into the gym, and he has this confidence about him. And by seeing and judging other people, we're actually pouring and throwing confidence at them, even though they may not feel confident walking down that street, walking past you. Isn't it interesting? And so the thing that we need to recur upon and to think about is that confidence isn't born, and it happens. We can grow on it. We can build momentum. And sure, will there be moments that you're going to get kicked off the bike? Are you going to wipe out on that skateboard? Are you going to be going downhill on rollerblades going, oh my God, I don't know how to stop? Of course there are. But as we know in life, in sports, in business, in relationships, you get knocked down, you right yourself, you stand back up, and you keep on putting one foot in front of the next. Brick by brick, drip by drip, confidence is built. Brick by brick, drip by drip, confidence is built. And this is a reminder to all of us that we think confidence needs to be like a major leaguer going up to the batter's box. You know, the stadium is packed. He's at a baseball game. You know, it's a tied game, and the batter gets up there, and he cracks that hickory against that baseball. Game over. The fireworks are going. The crowd is going nuts, and we think that we have to have these huge victorious moments for us to rise out of the ashes like the phoenix, for us to have these confident moments. And that's anything but the truth. I was getting a patio door, I'm getting a patio door installed here at the house, and I was talking with the installer, and we're talking about a couple things. I was like, hey, you know what, I would also like to replace, two of these windows over here, and the entry door into the garage is all messed up. Would there be a discount if I, was able to do all of them together? Because you're already here, maybe it'd be, a better idea for you to stay here for maybe 2 days instead of just come here for a couple hours, so on and so forth. And he goes, you know what? I'm not looking for the home run. I'm just looking for a base hit. I'm just looking to do a really good job on this patio door. And after that, if you like what I'm doing, if the finances are right for you, then we can go and do the windows, we could do the door, so on and so forth. And that's when it hit me, and I was like, yeah, man, right on. Yeah, that's how life is, right? It's a single hit. You're not looking for the grand slam. You're not going to blow all your money at one time. You're going to do things a little bit to get the right momentum so you can build that confidence. Now, I want to reframe for a second and take a technical timeout. I don't even know what a technical timeout is compared to a regular timeout, but let's just kind of reference ourselves for a second. The things that are going on around us, we have a lot of judgment. We think things that are really big have this amazing confidence. But the thing is that things that are really big, and I'm talking personalities, people, entertainers, comedians, just big houses, buildings, whatever, started off really small. And I have a couple examples I want to share with you. And actually, I'm really kind of geeking out on some of these examples. The first is this. The world's biggest tree is called General Sherman, and it's a giant sequoia tree. It lives in California at the Sequoia National Park. Now, that tree is 275 feet tall. The diameter, as in the base, the width of that tree, is 36 feet in diameter. This thing is monumental. It is the world's largest tree. Let me say that again. The world's largest tree. I mean, this thing is gigantic. 275 feet tall. That is huge, right? But how did it begin? How did that sequoia tree get to where it is today? Drip by drip, raindrops, sunshine, perfect conditions, going through bad weather. It grew, it grew, it grew. And in my research, I wanted to know, how are these sequoia trees? How do you nurture them? How do you take care of them? How do you make sure that they turn into these giant, monstrous trees? Well, in actuality, if you start to read about them, these seedlings of the sequoia tree are kind of jerks. They're hard to take care of. They need the absolute perfect conditions. They need soil that's dry but slightly moist. To harvest once you are able to grab a couple of seeds, you actually have to put them in a cold chamber for 4 weeks so they harden in the cold weather conditions. So what that means out in nature, that even though the sequoia tree is dropping thousands of seeds, if the conditions right after the drop, they're not going to be able to settle in and grow. And there's issues. There's blogs and there's YouTube videos about people that are obsessed of trying to grow sequoia trees in their backyard. Now, of course, they're not looking to grow a 275-foot tree, but they enjoy the benefits. They like the look of it, or whatever the case is. But there's geeks in the world of sequoia trees, and so what I realized is that it's really, really hard to take care of a seedling so it can turn into this monstrous tree. But look at what happens. We see this monstrous tree. We just think, wow, the world. It just grew like a huge tower out of the ground. But that's anything farther from the truth. It's really difficult for that tree to get to that size. But he did it. He or she did it, I should say. The second thing is the world's biggest flying bird, a Denton condor. It's basically a vulture. The wingspan is 23 feet wide. It basically eats dead things. It's a vulture still. But this thing is monstrous. Huge wingspan, huge head, huge talons, huge feet, all that stuff. How did it start off? Started off in a shell. Then it was nurtured by the mother. And if it wasn't nurtured by the mother, that condor would perish. He wouldn't get the nutrients. He wouldn't be able to be strong enough to take the leap of faith to jump out of the nest. But what happened? Drip by drip, piece by piece, that condor grew and became what it is today. The same thing with like a tank, a military tank. It's impressive, right? Has all the machine guns, looks scary and crazy. What did it start off as? Well, it started off as an idea, a drawing on a simple sheet of paper. But the fabrication of it was a piece of sheet metal that grew into heavy armor, that grew into other components, and there it is today, rolling down the streets, rolling over the desert, wherever it is in the world today, pushing through and doing something that can obviously change the direction of the world. Pretty impressive, right? And now let's bring it back down to why you and I are here together right here, right now. How did the comedians, the entertainers, the networker, the CEOs, the founders, the doctors, the chiefs, that person that we look at and go, holy jeez, that guy walks into a room of 1,000 people and bam, he has their attention. Bam, he holds the audience. Bam, that guy made everybody in that room motivated or cried or emotionally charged. How did they do that? Where did they find that confidence pill? And going back to my examples of the sequoia tree, of the condor, of the tank, they started off really simple, the smallest form, a form that's delicate. And these people that we look at, when they were growing up, they were insecure, they cried, they were ashamed of the things that they did. They didn't have any confidence. They were lost. They were confused. There was moments of depression and anxiety, moments of feeling lonely and wondering what their position is in this world. But drip by drip, brick by brick, they got to where they are today. What I'm sharing with you in this example is nothing more than the things that we look at and we go, oh man, there's no way I can build the next Apple. Whoa, man, there's no way I can operate that franchise. Whoa, hey, there's no way I can have that amazing relationship with the spouse and of course the kids. Or whoa, hey, there's no way I can have a body like that. whoa, hey, there's no way I can be that organized with my finances. Or, whoa, hey, there's no way that I can fold laundry like that. That's a really bad example, that last one. But what I'm trying to say is this, is that drip by drip, piece by piece, day by day, moment by moment, we can get there. We will. What's the determining factor is, are you willing to be dedicated enough to reap the reward? Are you willing enough to put yourself in the position to make sure that you're clear on exactly what is needed to do so you can be successful in the world of confidence? Now, the idea of drip by drip really came from the notion that inside of the world, there's a lot of crazy things that go on. And within the world itself, there are a lot of examples that I can use and other people use in books and newspapers, whatever, to reference ideas. And the whole drip by drip really came out of the idea of the stalactites and the stalagmites. Stalagmites, I believe, are basically a very thin column of stone, which is built out of mineral deposits throughout hundreds, maybe thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. And the same with a stalagmite, which is from the ceiling, right? It drips down. And the reason why these are formed in caves is because water runs down from the ceiling and it collects different minerals that are in the soil, and it creates these amazing, amazing kind of like rock formations inside of these caves. And as we know, if we were to witness one of these stalactites or stalagmites or a whole room full of them, we understand the amount of time that it takes for these to form. This isn't something that we can have a clear cave and snap our fingers and next thing you know, we have a room full of these stalactites and stalagmites. It's something that has gone on for a very long time. And the same with you. The drip by drip is understanding that it's not meant for us to be walking up to the batter's box and to be swinging and hitting home runs every single day. That's unrealistic. But you and I are able to practice at least trying to get a single, to at least hit the bat or hit the ball to the bat so we can get on base. And if you're able to get on base on a regular basis, get a base. Baseball joke, I guess, you're able to create the impact that's needed. And so that is where the idea of the drip by drip. Each moment, we have the ability to be three things, okay? Each moment, we have the ability to be three things. Number one, in every single moment that we walk into, this kind of piggyback confidence, is number one, we can be present. Number two, we can be confident. Or number three, we can be a jerk. If you want to reset, if you want to live in the world of confidence, if you want to live in the world of I have the ability to change every single minute, then you need to be living in the world of these three things. Number one, drip by drip, as in, number one, here we go, I kind of messed up there. Number one, you have to be present. The reasoning of being present is this: no distractions, know where you're getting into, and know what the outcome is. Too many of us are distracted by our phones, distracted by to-do lists, distracted by things that absolutely don't matter when the going gets tough or the tough gets going. And so if you want to be more confident, if you want to make sure you're successful in your reset, you need to be present in the situations that you walk into. If you know that you're going to be sitting across from a person that is quote-unquote confident in your eyes, you need to come into that experience knowing that you need to bring your best self. And in preparation for that meeting, you need to visualize. You need to outline. You need to know what the game plan is when you walk on in. And when you're there in that space, you can't be distracted. You can't be thinking about the parking ticket or the food situation or the arguments that you had the night before. You need to be 100% present. Being present is maybe one of the hardest things that you and I can do on a regular basis in today's world. I'm guilty of it. I'm on my phone, I'm cooking, I'm talking with my kids, I'm doing 15 different things at the same time. It's really hard. I get it. I'm with you on this. But the people that are in those situations, the top CEOs and the entertainers and comedians and the networkers and the doctors and the chiefs and the people that walk into a room and just own it, they're present. They're present. Now, on the flip side of the coin, as a disclaimer, of course, we know there's some doctors and chiefs and performers that don't live up to the hype. They're jerks, they're arrogant, they don't have confidence, they kind of, run away from exposure. I get it. But the whole point of this conversation is to build that confidence engine within. And to do that, number one, you need to be present. Number two, you need to have the confidence. Confidence is a choice. Confidence is a choice. Even though I'm telling you that it's built drip by drip, day by day, moment by moment, brick by brick, we understand that. But you do have the choice before you walk into that meeting, for example, to bring confidence, to bring your best self. You have that ability. There's nobody that's telling you before you walk into your work or before you walk into your home full of family or to walk into a new place or a new networking experience or a situation and they tell you, Jake or Susie, Bill, James, or dude or dudette, who's ever listening right now, I want you to not be confident today. I demand that you walk into that room and I want you to be the worst person that you can be. I want you to not look at people in the eye. I want you to be hunched over. I want you to act as if you don't even want to be there. Maybe that is true depending on the situation. But I want you to walk into that experience with such a lack of confidence that it's going to be disgusting. And you know what's going to happen? Obviously, bad things. It's not going to be a great experience. But fortunately for you and I, there's nobody that's saying that to us. There's nobody that is holding us back. There's nobody in this room right now that is yelling at me and pointing at me and saying, Jake, stop talking about confidence. That's ridiculous. There's nobody sitting in your car or in your workplace or in your home that's telling you to have a lack of confidence, to be insecure with yourself, to stop stop thinking positive and start thinking negative. There's nobody that is doing that to us. There's nobody on the exterior that is taking time to tell us how we should feel. And so that is what I'm saying. Confidence is a choice. It's a choice that is held within. That if you do have to walk into that meeting, you do have to walk into that negotiations, you do have to walk into whatever life has to offer for you, you do have the choice. Walking into the gym, you have the choice to go, today I'm going to give it my best, I'm going to have the best workout I can, and I'm going to have at it. But chances are, a lot of us are driving to the gym, and we're feeling burnt out and tired, and I have so many things to do, and I don't care, and I'm just going to walk on the treadmill for 15 minutes because I know that's what I should probably do, and we let it go. The only person that's saying that to yourself is you. There's nobody exterior of yourself that is inside your mind telling you to do those things. So that's why confidence is a choice. And number three, the third thing here, to live by drip by drip, to get that reset, is kindness. One of the things I said before, each moment that you have the ability to do three things, all of us do, to be present, to be confident, and to be a jerk. Some of us live to be a jerk. But if you're choosing to get through that reset, if you're choosing to embrace each situation, choose kindness. Choose to be warm-hearted. Because if they see that you're warm-hearted, you're a nice person, that you're genuine, that you're trying to bring the best energy that you can, that you have confidence, that you're being present, guess what happens? Real joy happens. Real interaction happens. Real awesomeness happens. And too many times we're trying to play the jerk role. Too many times we're walking in with no confidence. So then what happens when we don't have confidence? We kind of walk in as a jerk. We kind of look like we're arrogant and cocky to other people. But what's the real truth that happens out of it? We're kind of mean to people. We're kind of a jerk. And don't choose being a jerk. Choose confidence or choose kindness for sure. So to wrap this up, I want to tell you how to be more confident. A lot of you were expecting this conversation to tell you exactly how to be more confident every single minute, every single day. And I have a quick little 5-step process for you to get started. Again, this is the beginning steps of a self-reset. This is the code of confidence first steps. And the first 5 steps that I want you to take to heart every single day. Now, if you're driving or you're running your you're running your bike. If you're running your bike, that'd be really awkward and probably somebody should be taking a picture of you. But if you're doing things right now where you may not have the ability to write them down, feel free to write them down at a later time. Please put this stuff down because this is what absolutely works. All right, so here we go. How do we be more confident? This is straight out of like blog posts or news articles or anything like that. But instead of me just listing them in bullet point form, we're going to go through them one by one. Number one is confidence in the bathroom. What? What are you talking about? Confidence in the bathroom? That's ridiculous. All right, yes. All right, so hear me out. Okay, hear me out. So I was at a presentation, oh boy, probably about 8 months ago. And it was for a women's organization. And one of the presenters that was there, I was on this panel, and one of the presenters said it best. He said, a lot of you are judging how other people look, how they function, how they live their life, but you have issues looking at yourself in the mirror and being proud of who you are. Now, obviously, there's more of a backstory to it. Obviously, there's probably more better examples I could share with you, but it made me think for a second. Where does confidence really stem from? Confidence really stems from obviously being you. Obvious, right? I mean, you look anywhere on Google or anything like that. How to be more confident? Be confident with yourself. Be confident with the way you look. Be confident with the way you are. Be the confidence. Oh, we get that stuff. But the challenge I have for those statements is that it's not put into a practical sense. The practical sense is being confident in the bathroom. When you're in the bathroom, you're in there by yourself. And when you're in there by yourself, what is going on? Chances are, which comes into step number 2, a lot of self-talk. A lot of self-talk is going on. And a lot of that self-talk isn't amazing. It's not like, oh my God, Jake, you look amazing. You're brilliant. You're so smart. And just, I know you're going to be successful and your family loves you. And oh my gosh, you're just going to have a wonderful day today at work and it's just going to go amazing. Oh, and you're going to go work out later today. Oh, I know you're going to be sweating off all those pounds. You're going to come home and eat a delicious salad and you're going to feel amazing. And you're going to go to bed in this white robe and drift off into La La Land and have amazing dreams. None of us are thinking that. We're looking at ourselves in the bathroom and we're judging ourselves. The way we look, our appearance, how the wrinkles on the face, the zits, the discolored teeth, the irritations on our body, the notion of knowing that we should stop eating the ice cream before bed or drinking alcohol or I should be doing this and that. Because if you're not confident in your own space, aka the bathroom, then where can you be confident? By putting on layers of makeup, by putting on layers of clothes, by hiding everything, not being out in the public. Where else can you build that confidence? And so it's not a matter of how you need to look. I'm not saying that you need to lose weight. I'm not saying that you have to look pretty. I'm not saying that your teeth have to be all the same color of white. I think that would be probably pretty cool if they were, or at least close. But what I'm trying to say is this. If you are uncomfortable looking at yourself in the mirror, if you're uncomfortable looking at yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, then you need to start at least putting in the work of taking control of that self-talk. Because if you're not looking at yourself in the mirror, that means that your internal self-talk is not valid. That means that your internal self-talk is not allowing you to be the best person that you can be. For us to get back to those 3 steps of being present and confidence and kindness, you need to start it in the bathroom. And along with that, you need to embrace the self-talk. And of course, are there going to be moments of negative self-talk? Are there going to be a lot of negative moments of judgment and irritation? Sure, of course. I think that's human nature, right? We always side for the negative stuff first. We never think of the positive. But I want you to try this. In your bathroom, I want you to look at yourself in the pupils, like get your face close to the mirror, and I want you to look inside of yourself the best that you can. And to remind yourself, dude, you know what? You're doing the best you can. I'm trying really hard. This is tough right now, but I can do this. Do a little pep talk to yourself. And if you're thinking to yourself, Jake, that sounds great, but I'm rushed and all that stuff, then set reminders around that bathroom. Grab a dry erase marker, whatever color suits your colorful needs, and write on the mirror. I am beautiful. I'm loving. I'm confident. I have purpose. I have momentum. I'm ready to go. Bring it. I'm awesome. Whatever thing that you feel that you need more of, and you need to surround yourself with, I should say. Now, why is that? Number one, chances are you have a bathroom that is in your private space. If you have a bathroom that is shared by many people, depending on your age, you may be part of a family or moving back home or whatever the case may be, then you need to put those reminder messages somewhere where you see them every single day. If that means putting them on the save screen of your phone, if that means putting on your desktop, if that means putting sticky notes in your car, if that means taping a 10 lists, 10 topics of awesomeness on your steering wheel and taping it there. So every time you jump in the car, you see these reminders. You need to do something that allows you to get rid of that negative self-talk. Again, reminder number one, it starts in the bathroom. Look at yourself. Embrace yourself. Love yourself. Number two, change that self-talk. If you can't, set up reminders. The third, be honest and truthful. Be honest and truthful. Everybody here is busy, but how busy are we? Everybody here doesn't have time, but how much time are we wasting? Everybody here thinks that they're doing things for other people, but never have time for yourself. But really calculate it out. I want you to get rid of the BS, the lies that you've been telling yourself over the course of the last years, months, weeks, days. It doesn't really matter. The BS and the lies that there's no way you're going to be able to do it. The BS and the lies that, you know what, you don't have the ability. The BS and the lies, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you don't look good enough. You go down the whole stream of issues that we all think that we have. Those are all lies. And I want you to be truthful with yourself for the first time and be honest. And don't look at your body and say, this is, I really want to lose the weight, but for some odd reason, it's just my body type. Stop lying. What's the real reason? What's the real reason why you're not performing well in your job? What's the real reason why you're not getting that promotion? What's the real reason why you're not succeeding in your relationship? What's the real reason why your kids hate you? What's the real reason why your spirituality has gone down the tubes? Why is it the real reason why that you have this self-talk that is absolutely horrendous? That's where the truth and honesty come into play. I get hundreds of emails from you guys. And a lot of you tell me your story of where you grew up, the issues that arose, the things that are going wrong, the problems here, the problems there. But very, very few of you, there have been some, take ownership of it. Very few of you say, even though all this happened, I'm not letting this dictate my life. The people that have started the reset, the people that have found their way, they have. They understand that. They take ownership of it. They go, okay, it is what it is. I can't go back in time. I can't change it. All I can do is move forward. And they own it and they get going. But too many times, all of us are wrapped up in all the things that have gone wrong and the issues and financial disasters and I'm not good enough, I don't have the education, don't have the background, I wasn't raised right. I had, health issues when I was younger and it plagued me till today, all that different types of stuff. Be honest and truthful with yourself. Stop telling yourself lies. It's easier said than done. I get it. I've done it hundreds of times. I tell myself lies of why I'm not able to do this or why I didn't return a phone call or why I didn't respond to this or why I didn't show up how I should have showed up, right? We all do that. But it's about time, though, you start to think to yourself that you're honest and truthful and get rid of the BS. Get rid of the excuses of always showing up late. Get rid of the excuses of not bringing your best self forward. Get rid of the excuse of that you're tired. Get rid of the excuse that you're up all night. If you're up all night for a real reason, then own it. Be like, man, you know what? I'm working 4 jobs. I'm working 3 jobs. Just own it. You know that's going to be temporary. You're not going to do this for the rest of your life. Hopefully, you got to get your feet underneath you. I totally get it. But you need to be honest and truthful. The fourth is yet. This is a big one. Kind of referencing back to the self-talk, getting back to looking at yourself in the bathroom, getting back to the honest and the truthful part is the yet statement. I'm not in the best place yet. I'm not making the impact that I want to make yet. I'm not having the best life yet. I'm not doing the right things yet. It's one word that can absolutely change the trajectory of your life. If you're willing to digest it, to eat it, and to take it on a regular basis. One example everybody has issues with is financial. My job, it's not paying well. I'm trying to get educated. I'm trying to figure it out. All these things. And the one thing that we can say to ourselves on a regular basis to remind us that we're in this journey, that we're part of the process, that we're moving step by step closer and closer, is that we're not there yet. I'm not financially free yet. I'm not at my ideal weight yet. Instead of getting on the scale and going, holy geez, I am way off. I'm never going to get there. I'm not at my ideal weight yet. I'm not there yet. I will be. I'll get there. But I'm not there yet. And the yet is a powerful word because it's understanding that we're not there. We're not even close, maybe. We're not even the right universe. But the yet is giving us the confidence. It's giving us the ability to go, all right, I can give myself more time to figure this out. All right, I can get back on the horse and get this done. All right, I'm ready to go. Here we go again. Let's try again. One foot in front of the next, drip by drip. The yet is a powerful statement. If you need to put that by, a reminder again in your car or something like that to remind us of the yet statement, it's very powerful. That's where confidence comes from. That you may walk into a boardroom with very high individuals, and you may feel like a little peanut in a huge room full of elephants, but you need to say to yourself, I'm not there yet. I'm not as confident as these guys yet. I'm not able to share my experiences yet. And the yet is powerful. The yet can sometimes be a crutch too. But again, we're in the beginning stages of our self-reset. This is part 3 of our multi-part series on starting our reset. And to get through the idea of confidence, we need to have the motion and idea of the yet statement. And number 5, which is my personal favorite, is the awesome sauce. The awesome sauce is where you stand in a position of power and you scream to yourself, I'm freaking awesome. Now, you may be thinking, Jake, okay, cool. I maybe agree or disagree with some of the other statements. I understand that drip by drip, moment by moment, brick by brick, we can build confidence. I understand confidence is a choice. I understand that we're not born with confidence. I get that stuff. Okay, cool. But why the heck are we doing this awesome sauce? What does that have to do with anything? The reasoning is that if your body is moving, your brain is grooving, as in when you put yourself into a frame of reference, when you put yourself in feeling powerful people, military, individuals that have reached a level of success or at least reached a moment of success, how do they stand? How do they show themselves? How do they present themselves? They present themselves in a way of power. And how do you do that? A power stance is nothing more than kind of pushing your chest out, your shoulders back a little bit, your chin up. Amy Cuddy created this, well, I wouldn't say created, but documented this amazing journey of her, and it's represented through her TED Talk called Power Positions. She's a Harvard individual that did research to understand that if by the way people present themselves or by the way that they stand for a few minutes, can it dictate the outcome of a job interview? Can it dictate the outcome of being likable? Can it dictate the outcome of overall quote-unquote achievement? And through her research, the ending result, I'm going to waste the 26 minutes that it took her to say it, is yes. By you standing in a position of power for 3 to 5 minutes will release different chemicals into your body that make you feel more powerful, alert, aware, confident, and have the ability to walk into different situations or just to walk into your office and to do things that you previously would not be able to do because of putting yourself in the right frame of reference. And so the awesome sauce was developed off of that. But not only are we putting ourselves into a position of power, but we're also yelling something that is kind of ridiculous and silly. It's you're basically screaming, "I'm freaking awesome." Why is that? When was the last time you said anything awesome to yourself? When was the last time that you gave yourself credit? When was the last time that you screamed something to thyself? Chances are probably never. Never, because we were never told that. We were never told when we were kids to wake up and scream that you're awesome or you're great or you're excellent or you're achiever or you're successful or you're loving or you're joyful or whatever the case is. Nobody ever told us that. They told us as children to give that to others, to be kind to others, to tell them to give appreciation and to pat other people's back. But when was the last time you patted your own? And if you did pat your own back, chances are you're embarrassed by it. Chances are you're kind of like, man, that was awkward. I didn't feel right doing that. Because it's built within our culture to not feel appreciated for ourselves. It's built into our culture not to go around flamboyantly running around like a crazy person, feeling excited for yourself. The people that do that are the people that we look at and we say, good for them. The Super Bowl is a great example. These players, they try their hardest. Of course, they're paid a lot of money. But regardless, these individuals have been waiting for that moment for a very long time. What happens at the end of the game? Do they all go nonchalant like, yeah, that's cool, we did it, blah, blah, blah? No, they go crazy. They got the confetti. They're crying. Their families, they're hugging. They're kissing. They're just in overall whelmed. Some people are laying down. Some people are jumping around. They're just getting crazy, right? And we look at that as viewers of, wow, that's awesome. They did it. That's amazing. Good for them. Wow. All these feelings that we pour into them. But when was the last time you did something like that for yourself? Well, you may be thinking to yourself, well, I haven't done that because there have been no Super Bowl moments in my life. Yes, there have. There is every single day. And you don't even take it for granted. Or you do take it for granted. You don't appreciate it. You don't give it a second to let it sink in. From completing just a decently healthy meal to pushing away from social media, cleaning out your inbox for your emails, raking the yard, cleaning up the house, preparing food, paying your bills, going to the postal office and sending those bills. I'm not saying at every one of those victories you should be running around like a crazy person saying, oh my God, I did it. But it's a reminder to ourselves that we are conditioned not to give ourselves credit. And so the first time in a long time, I want you to do the awesome sauce. Because number one, the power positions, they work. It's research, it's documented, there's case studies, all that stuff. Number two, you're saying something awesome to yourself. You're giving yourself a boost of confidence. You're appreciating yourself in a space, in a moment that absolutely has no impact to other people. It's free to do. There's no weird app you have to download. You don't need technology. You don't need a piece of paper. You don't need anything. The only thing you need is yourself to do it. And that is mostly the hardest thing. So I want you to try it for the first time. If you're a long-time listener to the show, then join me for all the other times that I've done it. But I want you to join me. Like I said, if this is your first time, I want you to stand in a position of power with your chest out, shoulder blades back. I want you to extend your arms overhead. Amy Cuddy, through her research and documentation and case studies, she understood that if you put yourself into a Superman pose where your arms are overhead, victory, it releases more chemicals, make you feel better, circulates your blood, all different types of cool things. So with that stance, I want you also to put your chin up, kind of look towards the heavens. I want you to scream at the top of your lungs, I'm freaking awesome. Okay, I'm freaking awesome. And we're just going to scream this bad boy. Okay, it's going to feel silly. It's going to feel awkward. It's going to feel weird. But you're putting yourself into a great frame of reference. And along with that, you're saying something that is empowering to thyself. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm freaking awesome! What's up? Yes. It's ridiculous. I know. I wish I could get real sentimental on you and be like, well, how did that feel, people? No, it feels really good, doesn't it? It wakes you up. It's a free shot of espresso without going to a coffee joint. Whatever you want to call it. If you're able to harness these 5 ideas, you will truly figure out the code to confidence. Okay, in summary, number 1, when you're in the bathroom, stare at yourself, look at yourself, believe in yourself. Number 2, get that self-talk under control. If you have issues of your self-talk, set reminders, set quotes, set ideas, set powerful words around your bathroom, either with a dry erase marker or post-it notes. Number 3, you need to be honest and truthful. Stop giving yourself excuses of why you're not blank, or why you didn't do this, or why you're not successful at that. The 4th is yet. Understand that when you're in the progression and moving in your life, you need to understand that the things that you want in your world, you haven't achieved yet. You're not smart enough yet. I didn't lose the weight yet. I didn't find my ideal husband or wife yet. I didn't build the most amazing relationship with my kid yet. You have time. You have the ability to. It's a choice. Yet, it allows you to have the freedom to understand that you're continuously moving, you're continuously growing. And then the 5th and final is the awesome sauce, where you scream at the top of your lungs, I'm freaking awesome, and it feels freaking amazing. So, the people that you see that have the X of whatever it is that you like, the success, the identity, the amazement, the wow factor, whatever, started as you and I. Started as kids. Started as insecure people. Started as a person that wasn't picked first. Started as anxiety and depression and fear, the fear of the unknown, the fear of uncertainty, the fear of not having enough love or being overloved and wanting to push it away. Whatever it is, we all start out the same. It's like that classic idea of everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time. You and I, we started off the same. Little kids that couldn't take care of ourselves. We grew up into who we are today. Through the process, some of us have not been as fortunate as others. I get that full-heartedly. But right here, right now, you have the ability to start drip by drip. If you're 20, 50, 80, all of us have the ability to start. The hardest thing to do in life is to start. But once you start, you can create the momentum needed to get the confidence, to get the momentum, and to get the ideas flowing that you are capable of doing amazing things. Before I wrap this up, I've been talking about drip by drip, right? And understanding that each moment a drip will fall upon us. And there's a couple of things we need to do, right? We need to, number 1, be present, have confidence, and be kind. And in that process, those drips will fall upon us and they will build on us and we'll be able to grow. The problem is where some of you may listen to this and either use this as momentum and move forward and become excellent and complete your reset, or for the people that fall away to the wayside, I want to say as a notion here and a warning that the drips sometimes do hurt. The drips sometimes do sting. The drips sometimes wants you to run away and to hide. But in the drip is where development of confidence is born. In the drip is where development of confidence is born. That the times when you are sitting in that drip, it's uncomfortable and you want to quit and you want to stop, you need to stand there tall and embrace the drip, knowing that the things that are learned, the things that are allowing you to grow into the next type of person that you will become is in that mineral deposit that is falling upon you. Again, those stalactites and stalagmites were built upon the drips. And for you to build upon who you are today, you need the drips that sometimes might hurt, sting, be uncomfortable, and they might make you want to quit. But knowing if you're able to stand there long enough, you will turn into something monumental, and freaking awesome. So, with that being said, this was the code of confidence. Again, how to build more confidence. It starts in the bathroom. Number 1. Number 2, self-talk. Number 3, honest and truthful. Number 4 is yet. And number 5 is awesome sauce. Use that as your momentum to get your kind of engine revved up here towards the drip by drip. And of course, each moment that you walk into, notice these 3 things about yourself and about the other people that are around you. Number 1, presence. Number 2, confidence. And number 3, kindness. Every single thing that started to where they are today started micro, super, super small, but they grew into something great. You have that ability. You have a foundation. You can build upon that foundation to become something excellent and freaking awesome. So hopefully this hit to your core. Hopefully this inspired you, gave you the momentum. Whatever it gave you, I'm glad it did, because each one of these podcasts affect people differently. So with that being said, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me on Operation Self Reset. This was part number 3 in our multi-part series of the beginning steps of a reset. If there's anything I can do for you, send me an email, jake@operationselfreset.com. And until next week, Wednesday, go out there and be freaking awesome. I love you guys, and we'll talk to you then. See ya.